how they are feeling about the economy right now. You can see the last couple weeks there. The number is not great. Above 50%, more than 50% of investors believe that the market is heading in a bad direction, a bear market. And for folks at home, that just indicates that people on Wall Street are still feeling very jittery about what's going on right now. And that has been reflected in the markets for the past couple weeks.
Big turn. You can see a big turn right there at the end of February there. Those were the president's tariffs moves right there.
That's right into effect there.
All right, Vanessa Gavers, thank you very much. Sarah?
All right. One of the economic juggernauts for one state is now under major threat due to President Trump's trade war. Joining me now is Democratic State Senator Gerald Neal. You are from Kentucky, born and bred. You are now dealing with the fallout of this trade war that is currently underway. So here's what I know about Kentucky, Senator. Famous for four things: the Kentucky Wildcats, Kentucky Fried Chicken, the Kentucky Derby, and Kentucky bourbon. So how big of an industry is bourbon and alcohol in general in Kentucky?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It is huge. There's no question about that. Kentucky produces about 95% of the world's bourbon. Arguably, this is the most directly affected industry by tariffs. So it's a big deal here.
Look, Canada responded even before the tariffs were put in place. Canadians started taking American alcohol off their shelves. And I was hearing that that was actually having an impact before the tariffs went into place. And now the tariffs are in place and there is this big response. How much has that hurt your state?
Well, you have to look at it this way, I think. I think currently we're receiving, I guess, about an income overall about $9 billion annually. Now, that's huge. But what a lot of folks may not recognize is that it not only affects those who are actually producing this, but it also takes a toll otherwise. For instance, it takes a toll on shipping, requires the use of trucking, for instance. Bourbon is a premium product in bars. If people not coming on tourism, they don't have that particular aspect. It has a press down on tourism. Byproducts like grains are key in terms of farming, and that, of course, is going to hurt the farmers. I could go on and on and on with it. The problem and the issue that I'm trying to raise is that it's not just that bottle of bourbon. It's all that it takes to make that bottle of bourbon, get it to where it needs to go, etc. And everybody that touches it in between, including bottlers and distributors and you name it. Everybody gets affected. It's a big deal in Kentucky.
So I guess the next obvious question is the whole of Europe is now saying that they're going to put a 50% tariff on U.S. alcohol after Trump first put tariffs on other things, and that was their response. And now Trump is responding; he's going to put a 200% tariff on France and some of its alcohol. I mean, what is your greatest concern with the trade war that is now underway, started by our president, and what it means to your state going forward?
Well, it means quite a bit, obviously. What we have here is a situation where our industry, and I've already pointed out all the people who can be affected by it, but some will not be affected to a great extent. It has very variable effects. For instance, if you're an independent person that does not deal with the international market, it may have less effect or no effect, quite frankly. But those who are tied into the international market, Canada, Europe, other aspects of the market, particularly those two, some independents who are trying to do business in the international market that are doing business, I'm talking about small ones, are going to have a significant adverse effect.
Layoffs, you think, going to happen or already happening?
Well, I know that it's hard to discern exactly what's happening with respect to layoffs because it may be in the long-term planning. For instance, Brown-Forman just actually laid off about 700 individuals, but I think it might have been related to the long-term planning. I don't know how this is factored into that, but I will tell you this, that if in fact these tariffs have the effect that they've already demonstrated, the first time around, it had to press down. I think it's going to happen again this time. I think it's obvious. Then there will be layoffs. There's no question.
State Senator Gerald Neal, I do appreciate you getting up early for us this morning and coming on. I know you got a lot of to do there in the state of Kentucky. Really appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
All right.